Hey nerds and nerdettes, it's Rick here, and I am currently working on another review for you guys. I'm taking a look at the DC film series by DC Collectibles. I'm taking a look at the Armored Batman. I should be getting Superman sometime tomorrow or the day after, so I'm going to be taking a look at that entire series. But in the meantime, while I was working on another review, I decided that I wanted to do a best of 2016. I cannot believe we are currently, it's what, January 2nd, 2017. We are past another year. We are currently past that 2016 threshold, so I felt comfortable in doing a best of 2016 list. Just hanging out here in my nerd cave, taking a look around. Now, obviously, this list is going to be my own personal tastes. Obviously, there are a lot of action figures out there in the world, and I can't cover every single one of them, so this is just personally what I've bought. What I consider my personal best of 2016. Obviously, your mileage may vary, your flavor may vary, so you may not agree with this list. Don't take it personal if some of the figures that you like are not on this list. This is just my own personal preferences. So by all means, down in the comments below, tell me what your favorite figures were of 2016. Now, I tried to do just a top 5, and then I thought, that's probably not enough. Then I decided I'm going to do a top 10 list, and I started walking around the room, and I'm like, well, I can't leave you out. So we're going to do a top 15 best figures of 2016. I should probably round it up to a 16, but we don't want to get too greedy, do we? So in no particular order, 15 through 5 are going to be, or 15 through 6 are going to be in no particular order. But once we start getting from 5 on to number 1, those are definitely in order of what my favorite figures are of 2016. So with that, here we go. Number 15 goes to the Mafex Batman v Superman Batman action figure. This thing has wonderful amounts of articulation, a fantastic sculpt, and especially after the fiasco that was the Mattel Batman v Superman line, this was a welcome addition to my collection. Figure is just masterfully sculpted, masterfully articulated. Have absolutely no complaints about this guy, other than the fact that he might be a little on the scrawny side, but otherwise is just one hell of a figure and probably the best regular Batman in plastic form that we've got to date. Number 14 is the SH Figuarts Stone Cold Steve Austin action figure. This guy is fantastic. Again, once again, with Mattel's abysmal efforts, I shouldn't say that. They're actually some of the best mass market figures out there to date, but they do not hold a candle to Bandai Tamashii Nation's SH Figuarts. This perfectly encapsulates everything that is the character of Stone Cold Steve Austin, including middle fingers and beer cans, my friend. This is one hell of a figure, and if you call yourself a wrestling fan, one that you absolutely must have. Fantastically sculpted, wonderfully articulated, wonderful just paint applications, perfectly just captures the character. Can't beat it. Oh, hell yeah. So I'm currently working on the review for this guy. But this is the DC Collectibles Armored Batman from Batman v Superman. You're going to see a recurring theme, lots of Batman, and basically a lot of Batman v Superman Batman, I should say. But this guy is just wonderfully captures the character, I think, personally. This might be my favorite out of the multiple Armored Batman releases that we've gotten this year. Love everything from the light up eye feature. I do have some problems with it, which I will cover in my review. But the pros far outweigh the cons, and I'm really desperately hoping, after years of begging DC Collectibles to get into the movie action figure game, that the line continues. And this is a wonderful start. I'm proud to have it in my collection, and yeah, I would highly recommend grabbing this guy, and I'll go further into depth with that when I get into my review. But he just came in at the wire, making it to my top 15 list. Glad to have it. So you can see for yourself, probably the best version that we've gotten to date. Sure beats Mafex as well as Mattel's. That you'll see on my list is there is a ton of NECA figures. What can I say? NECA kills it every single year. And the Ultimate Kratos from God of War 3 is no exception. This guy is just a beast. I love everything about this figure, from the sculpt to the paints. This guy was originally supposed to be released when God of War 3 first came out, but DC Direct actually got the license to the game to make figures, so we got a bunch of unarticulated statues, but then here we are years later, and NECA finally gets it done. They are currently working on getting the new God of War, which takes place in Norse mythology. So I really hope that happens, because I don't know if any other company could top what NECA has done here. From, like I said, sculpts, paints, articulation, just even the accessories, you know, the Cestus fists and the blades, and just everything about this figure screams Kratos. And it's a fine addition to my shelf, and one that I will cherish forever. One of my favorite video game characters. I looked forward to this game way, way, way back in the day when it was first advertised. So to have an action figure of this quality, hell yeah. I still have to do a review of this figure, but this is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man Infinite Series Hobgoblin. Everything about this figure is what I have always wanted in a Hobgoblin action figure. I personally cannot wait to grab the Green Goblin figure. He has just been released, but it is off the same buck, same body. And if it's anywhere near as good as this Hobgoblin, then I will cherish that one forever as well. If I do have one minor complaint about it, it might be that the glider is a tad on the small side. But you know what? That is one thing that I can overlook for just what I consider the peak perfect Hobgoblin action figure. Just from the sculpts to the articulation, I love that facial sculpt. Everything about it is just, like I said, bar none, best Hobgoblin action figure ever. Okay, I'm going to cheat on this one and say the entire Thundercats Classics line has to make this list. I love every single figure in this line, including Pumaira. Just, you know, this is the line that I have always dreamed of. I was unfortunately I wouldn't say I was too young, but my interests were all over the place when I was a kid, when Thundercats were originally out by LJN. So I never really got into the line. I always moved on to something new. But, you know, I've always regretted it as a kid. I'm sure I could have gone back and gotten the original figures, but why do that? Because I knew in my heart that somebody were going to update the sculpts, and sure enough, the Four Horsemen of Mattel did that wonderfully and masterfully. Here's hoping that Super 7 can get the Four Horsemen on board and get Warner Brothers to sign over the license, because we 100% need this line to continue. Like I said, I'm cheating a little bit. I just can't pick one. This whole line just is A1, top to bottom. What can I say from, probably the best Batman suit in the Nolan trilogy, I think, personally, to the best actual Batman, Baleman Batman, I guess you should say, figure to date. I know some people disagreed with me when I originally did the review for that, saying that they thought Mattel's was better or Mafex's was better, but I just gotta say, you know, to have this guy along with the NECA Ledger Joker, I think that you can't, especially for the price, beat this guy. From the articulation, the actual choice of the suit to the likeness. I think that this is probably the best Bale Batman that we're going to get until SH Figure Arts releases theirs. Then NECA might have a run for their money. But in the meantime, perfect representation. Like I said, it was so hard keeping some of these guys off the top 5 of this top 15 list. This guy was absolutely no exception. It was such a bummer back in the day when NECA first announced that they had the Ninja Turtles toys, or the Ninja Turtles license, and they released those awesome Ninja Turtle figures to show these off, and then never being able to get them because of frickin' Playmates. But again, NECA are miracle workers, and here we are years later, and we've got the perfect Mirage Shredder figure. I personally cannot wait to see where else NECA goes with the license, but in the meantime, this is the single best Shredder figure to have ever been released. Again, this more captures the Eastman Laird artwork, but even with it being a stylized version, it is still the best version to date, and to me, the ultimate Shredder action figure. Next on my list has to go to the DC Collectibles Batman animated series Clayface action figure. Always has been one of my favorite characters. The Feats of Clay were actually, the part 1 and part 2 are two of my favorite animated series, just bar none, two of my favorite animated episodes ever. This guy is big, bulky, captures one of my favorite characters, comes with awesome accessories over here. Just a wonderful representation of one of my favorite characters in any medium. Cannot complain about this guy. Again, I'm going to cheat here and I'm going to go for a twofer. But the 112 Collective Modern as well as Classic Captain America are two of my favorite figures of this year. Mezco is just knocking this line out of the park. Articulation, details, accessories, you are getting your money's worth. You know you're paying $80, which is basically half of a hot toy, but you are getting the quality of half of a hot toy. The details on these guys are just phenomenal. I know I use that word a lot, but these figures, just there's no other word to describe them. Just bar none, some of the best action figures to have ever been released, and I'm very proud to have these in my collection. Just probably just the perfect representations of the figures outside of Marvel Legends. These cannot, for your bottom dollar, be beat. Alright, gang, here it is, my top 5. Now, these are in a specific order here. These are my top 5 favorite figures of the year. These just, above all else, of all the awesome figures that have been released this year, it was hard for me to narrow down and say, oh, this is my favorite. I'd say that this guy's above this guy, this guy's above this guy, but we have to do it in some kind of specific order, right? So here it is, my top 5 of 2016. Like I said, I've got a lot of NECA on this list, so number 5 absolutely has to go to one of my favorite actors, one of my favorite characters, and one of my favorite TV series currently. So Ash vs. Evil Dead Hero Ash is my number 5 figure of 2016. This figure looks just like Bruce Campbell, older Bruce Campbell, I should say, and just captures everything about the character on the series that I love, from the goofy different head sculpts that he comes with, to the accessories. I cannot look forward enough to Series 2 from NECA coming out this year. Just a perfect representation of old Bruce Campbell. Number 4 has got to go to, again, NECA. This time recreating my favorite video game character. I love the Uncharted series. I have been on board since I first originally saw the screens. He originally was actually going to be wearing a shirt very similar to what I'm wearing right now for this video. So that's how old school. Go look it up. If you think I'm lying, go look it up. That's how much I was looking forward to this game, and it has not disappointed through 4 iterations. And I'm kind of sad to see it end. I'm hoping that Naughty Dog keeps it going. And for my own sake, I'm really hoping that NECA is able to get the Last of Us action figure license so we can get more Naughty Dog products out there. But in the meantime, this guy, just everything that I've ever wanted in a Nathan Drake action figure. Just dirty, bloody, muddied up, perfectly looks like he just came out of a cave looking for a treasure. Looks just like the character from Uncharted 4. So glad to have this in my collection. Thank you so much, NECA. Again, I'm going to be cheating a little bit, but you know what? This is my video. I can do what I want to. It's my list. You can't stop me. But anyways, I just wanted to cover just how much I love all of these figures in this line. I haven't gotten Michelangelo yet, so I can't judge the line as a whole, but I can judge the 3 figures that I've gotten with Raphael, Leonardo, and Donatello. And I feel like I can cheat a little bit considering they're pretty much the same base body, but with different heads. But these are everything that I've ever wanted in Fred Wolf Ninja Turtles action figures. They look just like the cartoon. They're fun. They're fun to pose. I love the fact that they've got the die-cast legs to help stabilize them a little bit so they don't tip over. I love the accessories, the sewer lid, the pizza. I'm getting a little scared because they really haven't announced anything beyond the 4 turtles. They showed Shredder, but we haven't really got any solicitations on that yet. So I'm hoping the line continues because I would love for this to just go on for a long, long time. I would love Splinter. I want that Shredder. I want Krang, Bebop, Rocksteady, April, Casey Jones, Ace, Duck, Baxter the Fly. I want it all because these are the best 1988 Fred Wolf cartoon Ninja Turtles that we have ever gotten. Number 2, we're keeping with the Ninja Turtles theme. NECA has created the perfect 1990 Henson. Ugh, I can't even talk. I'm so just every time I look at it, I'm like, these are the perfect Henson Turtles. I believe Raphael is due out in February. I just cannot get over the sculpting on this, the details, the accessories. I mean, he comes with a pizza that looks like an actual pizza. He comes with the TCRI, not TGRI, that was the second movie, but TCRI canister. He comes with an awesome bow staff. The articulation on this guy, if they do not scale this down to 7 inches and put it into a box set for one of the Comic-Cons, I am going to be so disappointed. But if not, it's okay because I have this guy, and it is a massive, amazing action figure. I mean, to even look at the Playmates action figures right now and then look at this guy, it's almost insulting what Playmates put out. This guy is just, it's like he stepped right off the film. Just came right into my toy room and stood on this shelf. Just amazing amounts of detail. Wonderful paint up. I've got a little bit of slop here, but so what? Who cares? Look at this freaking guy. I love that it comes with the cloth bandana. I'm loving just everything about this guy. I love there's hidden articulation underneath the shell here. Just everything about this figure perfectly encapsulates everything I've wanted in a movie Ninja Turtle figure. Everything that Playmates was not able to give us. So, I can't get over this guy. And it was, like I said, it was really hard to put him at number 2. But number 1 just absolutely takes the cake. All right, you guys, and here it is, the number 1 figure. As I said, it was really hard to narrow it down. And, the Donatello almost made number 1, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it after getting this guy. The number 1 figure of 2016 for me is the Mezco 112 Batman v Superman Batman. Notice I said earlier that the Mafex version is the best sculpted version. I cheated a little bit again. Like I said, it's my list. I can do that if I want to, but the cloth goods is what sets this guy apart for me. You guys, this might possibly be the best Batman action figure. Not just best Batman v Superman Batman action figure. The best Batman action figure to have ever been made. Now, I do not say that lightly. I have a lot of Batman figures that I love up on my shelves. I love the DC Collectibles animated versions. I love the Hush Batman. I love everything that we've gotten in the Capullo line. I love the Arkham line. But this is the best Batman action figure that we have ever gotten, quite possibly. From the details in the suit to the bulkiness of the figure, he looks like the Ben Affleck Batman, who, in my opinion, is the best live-action Batman that we have ever gotten. The amount of accessories, including the hands that come with batarangs, the extra head, extra batarangs, the gun, everything about this figure is just... Mezco has just set the bar completely for 112 action figures. In any medium, I'm talking Marvel Legends, for any company, Hasbro, Mattel, they should really, like I said, you're paying $80 for these figures, typically, maybe a little bit more, but you're getting your penny's worth. So I think that every other company out there should be looking at what they can do to maximize their efforts, because these should really set them to shame. These are just the best figures for your dollar out there today. And like I said, best Batman figure ever. Ever. All right, my friends, so there it was, my top favorite 15 action figures of 2016. What do you think of my list? Do you disagree? Do you agree? Let me know in the comment sections below. Tell me what your favorite figures were of the year. As always, if you like what you see here, please subscribe and also be on the lookout. I'm going to be doing a review of the DC film series, like I said. Going to be looking at Armored Batman and Superman. You guys have a wonderful day. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning here, so I'm going to go to bed. I'm super duper tired. All right, you guys, take care. We'll talk to you later.